Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheared podcast. We're here, we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, the one and only Austin Creed. My friends, today's going to be a show that's going to be one of the most important shows, if not the most important show that I will ever do. This will be a series, this will be a series of ideas that I have come to know to be true. I learned most of these, if not all, the hard way. And if you think that you understand how to earn money, if you think you understand how to reach your goals and achieve everything you ever wanted, then stop listening to the show. Turn it off, because you're not ready to hear it. You're not ready to hear this truth. For those of you who have never read Think and Grow Rich, for those of you who have never felt in control of your life and you hold the reins to steer the horse, the steer that is your life, you're not ready for the show today. Because today we're going to be talking about sowing the seeds of success. Let me repeat that. You must sow the seeds that will bring you success. Now, it was Emerson who said that the law of sowing and reaping was the law of all laws. And I believe him to be correct. My friends, the garden of your mind is extremely fertile. Now, whether that crop that is being produced, whether it be something like tobacco or something like nightshade, is entirely up to you. And we will be breaking this down piece by piece throughout this show this morning. Because I believe that so many people, they don't understand the simple law of the world. They don't understand how it's hard to earn money. They look at the people on Wall Street. They look at the people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and people like Steve Jobs, when he rests in peace, and people like that. They look at guys like that and they say, how is it that they earned money? How is it that they became so rich? And yet my family is broke, or my family is poor and I am broke. Well, let's address each point one by one. Let's address how the men such as the ones I named, how do they earn their money? Well, we must first define what money is. What is money? Money is an idea. Money is not the paper that is in your wallet. It is not the balance in your credit card. It is not the balance in your bank. That is not money. Money is an idea. Money is the compensation for the services that you render. I find it rather strange, and I should probably add that I find it quite sad, that there are people who can learn to pilot rockets to the moon or pilot race cars, but yet they don't know how to learn to make money. It's something that most people are reluctant to discuss because they think that they're going to do it wrong, or they're going to subject themselves to criticism. Well, I'm not adverse to criticism, and I know for a fact that I stand amongst the greats when I discuss this topic today. When it comes to money, like I said earlier, people find it strange that people can learn to pilot rockets to the moon, but yet somehow cannot learn to accumulate wealth. Well, the two are two completely different things. Just because you're good at one thing does not mean you are good at another. And in the same way, going back to the rich people and how people might ask, how is it that guys like Elon Musk, guys like Jeff Bezos, or Larry Ellison, how is it that they have such vast fortunes and yet my family is poor? How is that possible? Well, first, we must go back to this idea of money. So many people view money as if it is something that is being doled out, as if something is fair or not fair. That is not the mindset that you should have, because it's simply not true. There is enough money in the world that you could have all the money that you want. The problem is you don't see it that way. You see money as a finite resource. Again, going back to you see it as paper. You see it as the money, the digital number in your bank account. But this is not true. Money is an idea, and there are enough ideas to fill up the infinite void that is the universe. The problem is most people limit themselves and they don't understand the simple idea of having the prosperity and abundance mindset. Now, I know you think this is a bunch of hot air. Well, if you do, then turn the show off because you're not ready to hear this. Because let me tell you something. How much money, let me ask you a question before I tell you what I was going to tell you. How much money do you want? What is it, $1 million? $10 million? $1 billion? How much money do you want? Because if you don't have a number, that is something that needs to be addressed. If you don't even have a number, you're already off to a rough start. Because let me tell you something right now. You will never want more money than what you believe you're capable of. Let me rephrase that. Money, let me say, I know how much money I want. I want $1 trillion. Now, that does not mean that I am owed $1 trillion. It simply means that that is the amount of money that I desire. In fact, I've written down in one of my journals that I will earn $1 billion by the age of 40. On my 40th birthday, I will have a net worth of $1 billion. Now, you might laugh at that, find that funny. That's fine. I don't find it funny. I view it as the future. Why? Because let me go back to what I said earlier. We discussed this idea of why is it that certain people have so much money and yet the vast majority of people do not. I would care to wager that about 97 out of 100 people have no idea how to build and earn money. They don't have no idea how the laws of money work. They don't know that you must first sow the seeds of success to reap the harvest that you think that you need and are entitled to. Every man and woman listening to this show today is a farmer that is tending the garden of their mind. But so many people, these same farmers do not understand that the seeds they are sowing in their minds directly contribute to the harvest that they are reaping in their lives. In the same way that the farmer cannot be sowing banana seeds and expect a strawberry bush, people cannot sow seeds of lack, limitation, unhappiness, and then expect to get all the riches and prosperity that they've wanted. It doesn't happen. You must decide what you are willing to give in exchange for getting, because that is the law of sowing and reaping. You cannot get something without giving, but so many people, that's exactly what they want. They want to take. They think that money, they think that I don't have to give anything, I should just be getting it. That's not how the world works. You must give before getting. Whether it's you give a service or you give your services to a product, you must change your mindset to not what I want, but what I can give. In the same way that if a farmer wants a more abundant crop, he must sow more seeds. If you want more money, if you want more prosperity, you must produce it. It is not going to come out of thin air. It is not going to come simply because you want it. You must decide what it is you are willing to give in order to get that which is your birthright. If you don't understand that in order to reap the harvest, you must first sow the seeds, well, then you're stuck in your life. And you're stuck. You don't know where to go. And I'm here to tell you that everyone has a gift. Everyone has something that they are good at. This does not mean it will be easy, because it won't be easy. Anything worth doing will not be easy. But it is something you must decide whether you are willing to pay the price, take the risk, and sow the seeds. Because let me tell you, sometimes it's not going to be straightforward. Sometimes it's going to go sideways and it will be hard. But this does not mean that you are any less closer to achieving your goals. In fact, so many people, I could go down a list, whether it's they're a writer, whether it's an entrepreneur, whether it's they're an artist of any kind or of any ilk, often saw their most successful moment not long after their most egregious failure. And if you are not willing to take that risk, then you cannot expect a reward. Money is something that comes to those who are ready for it, those who have sacrificed, those who have given everything and are ready to receive their just reward. My friends, you must sow the seeds of success in your life, because if you are not willing to sow seeds, you cannot expect to reap a harvest. If you have not read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, you should do so. It will change your life. I go into this in extensive detail in my forthcoming book, Biblical Bachelor, that's coming out on Halloween of this year. I go into detail about how money is something that people focus on a lot. Of course, everyone needs money to live. And it is something that people don't pursue in the correct way. Now, there are people who sometimes achieve their fortunes through backdoor means, whether it's a lottery ticket, whether even sometimes through an inheritance. The problem is, just because you could see the money and the things that money will buy, that does not mean that they will not pay the price. Because they must pay. That is the law. Sowing and reaping is the law of the world. This does not mean that you must give and give and give and expect nothing in return. No, but you must change your mindset. Because so many people just want to take and take and take. They are programmed to be a consumer. We all are. We are all programmed to be a consumer. Because that is exactly what people want. And that's exactly what the bigger corporations want, is they want you to be a consumer. They don't want competition. They want you to be lazy. They want you to be restricted. They don't want you to sow seeds. They'd rather you stay paralyzed and unhappy. But I'm here to tell you, if you want to be rich, if you want to see success, you must sow the seeds. Don't let the bag sit and waste away in the corner of your mind. Your mind is the best tool that God ever gave you. And so many people let it go to waste because they think that they're inferior. Let me give you a simple equation that I believe can change your life forever. And if you have a piece of paper, I would suggest writing it down. It's FG plus E equals I. I'll read what that explains, and then I will say it again. This means that financial goals plus expenses equals income goals. Again, FG plus E equals I. But first, you must identify those financial goals, as we discussed earlier. You must identify your financial goals. How much money do you want in a year? 3 years? 5 years? 10 years? How much money do you want? Don't be afraid to write down a number, because you will not want more money than you are capable of earning. Now, that does not mean it will be easy for you to earn it. The more money that you want, the more you must be willing to give in exchange for the money that you want. But do not focus on earning money. Again, that is the same as focusing on the harvest when you have not sown the seeds. You must focus on sowing the seeds, sustaining the seeds you have sown. And then, when the harvest is ready to be gleaned, then focus on the harvest. In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, there are 15 chapters in that book, and not one of them is titled Money. Why? Why would he not tell you about how to directly to earn money? Well, that would be the same thing as a farmer telling his son teaching him how to take in the harvest when the seeds have not yet been sown. It makes no sense. In Biblical Bachelor, in my book, I discuss money. And I discuss similar ideas to the ones I've discussed with you today. Because money is something that so many people have the wrong mindset of. And it's not necessarily their faults. Because we've all been programmed to think this way. It's been a drip campaign since we were in diapers. To keep us down and out of this competition called life. But if you are willing to break out of your conditioning, stop being a consumer, and start being a producer, then you will have a chance in this life. Then you will finally have taken back control, and you will be ready to achieve everything that you've ever wanted in spades. But you must sacrifice, and you must flip that switch in your mind to give Give, and not just give in one avenue. Have multiple sources of income. Have multiple sources of income. Because that is what every rich person does. My friends, sowing the seeds of success will change your life. Do not think that you will be able to skid by and cheat the system. Even if you succeed, you will always be living with an unbalanced check, and it will be paid. It will be called. You will pay. That is the law. You might as well work with the law so that you can use it to your advantage instead of trying to work around it. My friends, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless America. Have a great day. And remember, you must sow the seeds of success. Do not focus on the harvest. Focus on what you can give, not what you can get. God bless you. We're out of here. Take care. Peace.